Deep in the heart of the great jungle, where sunlight filters gently through the leaves and the sounds of birds and wind blend into nature's symphony, there are people who quietly live in harmony with the forest. Without noise or show, they make a living from what nature provides. And among the most grueling of these livelihoods is the craft of wild honey hunting. People are often captivated by the pure sweetness of wild honey, golden, fragrant, and thick like the lifeblood flowing from the earth itself. But few realize that behind that sweetness lies sweat, tears, and more than once, the risk of losing one's life. To obtain a wild beehive, the hunter must wake up while the forest is still shrouded in mist. They sling a bag over their shoulder, carry a torch, a rope ladder, and a forest knife, and begin a journey with no known end. Sometimes they must travel all day through steep slopes, cross deep streams, climb slippery hills, just to spot a beehive hanging precariously from a rock face or high up in the treetops. Each step up is a moment of heart-pounding tension, because with just one mistake, a slip of the foot or an entire swarm attacking could send the hunter crashing to the ground, deep in the forest, with no one around to call for help. But they keep climbing, with all their experience, patience, and the love for the craft that has sustained them for so many years. Wild bees are fierce. They won't tolerate anyone invading their hive. Sometimes hundreds or even thousands of them swarm out, stinging relentlessly on the face, hands, and even piercing through thick layers of fabric. The hunter grits their teeth and endures. No shouting, no crying out. They know that if they panic, they could slip or drop the hive, rendering all their efforts in vain. Through the thick smoke, they skillfully use a knife to cut away each chunk of wax. Honey flows from within, thick and fragrant. Some get stung, their faces swollen and hands numb, but their eyes still gleam with joy. Because these drops of honey are the fruits of courage, perseverance, and their love for the forest. They don't take it all. They always leave part of the hive behind so the bees can continue to thrive. To them, the forest is home. Honey is a gift from the forest, not something to be exploited until it's gone. Wild bees are fierce warriors. They protect their hives with fierce determination, not allowing anyone to trespass. Sometimes thousands of bees charge out like a wild wave, latching onto the hunter's face, hands piercing through thick fabric, stinging relentlessly. Each sting is a warning, a reminder that in their world, there is no mercy for invaders. Yet the hunter remains undeterred. They grit their teeth and endure, with no cries, no panic. They know that in a moment of weakness, they could lose everything they have worked for. A single slip or a careless move could make the hive fall, rendering all their efforts meaningless. So they stay focused, determined to achieve their only goal, to harvest the honey skillfully and safely. When they return to the village, the hunter opens the honey bag. Inside, golden honeycombs, like pieces of sunlight stored from the ancient forest. City dwellers drink wild honey every morning, mixing it in tea or soaking garlic to boost their health. But few realize that behind each sweet drop of honey is immense hardship, blood, and sweat from the forest children. Some have nearly died from falling from high trees. Others have been stung until they fainted. Yet every year when the bees come, they return to the forest, not for the wealth, but because it is how they live. It is a craft passed down from father to son, a sacred part of their soul within the vast wilderness. If you ever get a chance to taste a drop of wild honey, please close your eyes, feel it. Not just the sweetness on your tongue, but also hear the sounds of the forest, the buzzing of bees and the quiet heartbeat of the people behind it. Because behind that natural sweetness lies a journey of sweat and tears.